we are going to look at the structure of nucleic acids. So the structure of nucleic acids. So I'm sure you want to know, what are nucleic acids? So the definition is that nucleic acid is a chain of nucleotides which stores genetic information in biological systems. So the main function of nucleic acid is that it creates the DNA and the RNA, which stores information that is needed by cells, which are the cells that we mentioned previously, to create proteins. Right? So the information that is stored, that is stored is in sets of nucleotides called codons. Right? So now you want to know, what are nucleotides? This term here, what are nucleotides? So nucleotides are basically the building blocks which, if you use the right term, you call them the monomer. So they're the building blocks of DNA and RNA. Right? So let's just try and have a look at the basic structure of nucleotides. So the basic structure of nucleotides will look more like this. Let me just try and draw it here. So you will have something that looks like this. So it looks more like this, and then it has a P here and something more like this, which you can write NB. So these terms here, the P, this one here, the P stands for phosphate group, and then the S here is sugar molecule, and the NB here, it's nitrogenous base. So your DNA and RNA are made of this nucleotide here. So there's just the many nucleotides which form your DNA and RNA. But someone may want to know, what is a DNA? What is that? where do we find it? And what is really the abbreviation of DNA? So, the definition of a DNA, it is, you can just define it as the molecule that contains the biological instructions that make each species unique. So you and I consist of DNAs which are unique from each other. So where exactly is this DNA located? So before I even tell you on where it is located, let me just first write the abbreviation, which is, it is actually a deoxyribonucleic acid. So it's deoxyribonucleic acid. Yes. So this DNA is located in two places. So we spoke about the cell structure, which is the animal cell or the plant cell, right? And I said that the cell structure consists of a nucleus, right? Both in animal cell and plant cell. And I also said that plant cell and animal cells are eukaryotes, which basically says that it contains nucleus, right? So the DNA is actually found inside the nucleus. Most part of the DNA is found in the nucleus, both in the animal or plant cell, which we call it a nuclear DNA. Then a part of that DNA, not all DNA is found in the nucleus. Some parts of the DNA is found outside of the nucleus, right? It's found outside the nucleus, which we call that DNA an extra nuclear DNA, which that extra nuclear DNA has two types, right? The first one is the chloroplastic DNA, which basically tells us that it is found in a chloroplast, right? And we also have a mitochondria DNA, which tells us that it's actually found in a mitochondria. So if someone asks you where is the DNA located, you will note that it is found inside the nucleus. It is also found outside the nucleus. Where outside the nucleus? It is found in the chloroplast and the mitochondria. So basically with the chloroplast, you know very well we are talking of the plant cell, right? And then as for the mitochondria, we're talking of both the plant cell and the animal cell. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please write them in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.